Hey there, welcome back to MediEvil, and probably the last episode of the series. We've come a long way, and it's time to finish it. So let's head straight into Zarok's lair. Zarok may be backed into a corner, but he has one or two more tricks up his sleeve, maybe even three.
We never thought you'd get this far. Your final encounter with Zarok awaits beyond this point. He has surrounded himself with his unnatural bodyguards, but you may yet even the odds by calling upon the lost souls collected within your chalice. Place the chalice on the shield at the heart of the arena. Good luck, Sir Daniel Fortescue.
What the oh gosh. Okay. So before I head in, I just want to say that I did a little bit of research and turns out I was missing like two life bottles. The last one you can get is in the time machine level, where after you destroy that red crystal, if you go back earlier to where there's two panels that control the big clock on the right hand side of it. After you destroy that red crystal, there's a gate, and at that gate you actually have to use the big old clock to open it, and then once you open it, the life bottle is in there. And the second life bottle that I was missing, turns out that was straight at the beginning of the game because I completely forgot that in Dan's script, once you have a club or if you get the hammer from the Hall of Heroes, you can break down a certain wall that, trust me, you can tell it's a breakable wall that hides an extra life bottle. So I got those two. My 7 is now at 9. I am more than ready to take on the final boss. I'm sure you can do it with less, but there's a very, very important reason why you should probably go ahead and get maybe. You can probably get by with 7, but I say just be safe. Go ahead and look for. I think once you get to the end of the game, I don't think all 9 is necessary, but it'll make things easier. Hmm.
Sir Fortescue, my old nemesis, so we meet again. I see that a century spent as worm food has done nothing to diminish your naive obsession with the freedom of Gallowmere. Prepare to attack, my warriors. I want the dogs gnawing marrow from those bones within the hour. Ah! What is that, Fortescue? Your lucky cup?
Good lightning. Healthy troops need healthy lightning. Okay, so to explain this boss fight, or this fight, hang on, let them fight. Okay, so you absolutely need this. It's necessary, and this is why it's important. You probably need all the life bottles you can get your hands on. Good lightning requires you to sacrifice your own health to keep your soldiers healthy. You will get a game over if all your soldiers die. So I should probably also explain that If you want to know how much health your guys have, just pay attention to the color of their bones. In the original, it was much easier because you could see green turns to yellow and then the red. Uh, so just keep an eye on their glow. Guys. Don't tell me the game just glitched out.
You always were fortunate in battle, Fortescue. Let us see how you fare against my champion, the late Lord Kardok. He eats people like you as calcium supplement.
Come on, don't do this now. Spear.
I've just about had enough of your meddling. Where is that spell? Ah, yes. No, not that spell. Oh. Oh, not right now. Aha! Now I have it. None shall defeat the mighty Zarok. So prepare to die, Fortescue.
Alright, one sec, bro. That's not good. Gotcha.
Curse you, Sir Knight. I am finally defeated. Yet if I am to fail, then all shall perish. You are doomed, Fortescue. You will never leave this domain.
Nice catch. Wolves are defeated, all the souls are free. I love that. It's like, I did it. And that's it. That's the end of MediEvil. Although to be fair, from the scene with the Hall of Heroes and then Dan doing the flips and taking a drink, you can actually only earn that ending by collecting all the chalices. Because I think if you don't, it just ends with Dan finally going back to rest inside of his crypt. MediEvil is such a fantastic game to play. Originally, when I wanted to play it for the channel, I wanted to play it around Halloween. But obviously, man, I was just really, really sick at the time, and so I couldn't finish it. But I really wanted to go back to it, especially after God of War just left me with that adventurous mood. And at the same time, it's like, well, I already got the one episode. Why not just finish the rest? Oh, sorry, credits. Oh, wait, I can show you, before I finish my thoughts, let me show you guys, like, if you get all those old, okay, once you get all those lost souls, you unlock something very special. So, when you get all those lost souls, the game will actually tell you to go back to the main menu to check out your reward. Old game. Yeah, check it out. You can actually play the original PlayStation 1 version of MediEvil. Granted, this is I imagine this is like an emulated version that they managed to somehow fit onto the PS4 version. Granted, technology is vastly different compared to what it was back in, when was this game released? I'm not sure if they'll have like that detail, or I probably missed it out early on. 1997, I think, or something. Yeah, but man, check it out, like that old school FMV animation for the cutscenes, I mean. Level 1, Dance Crypt. Look how weird he looks.
It has risen again. Sir Daniel Fortescue. See? The hero of Gallowmere who fell at the first charge. The fog of war and the shrouds of time conspire to turn the arrow fodder into the saviour of the day. But we knows better. Let it alone. Fate has given it a second chance. A chance to forget the ignoble truth. A chance to defeat Zarok and live up to the legend. We hopes it does well.
You know, I could be wrong, but I think you can actually buy and play a version of the original MediEvil on PlayStation 3. Because for some reason we can't do that on hardware. I don't know. It's really weird, and there's probably some sort of bullshit reason for it. Although, if you ask me, it's probably a money reason. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this. But yeah, how cool! Like, dude, I lost my shit after getting all those lost souls. Go back and I saw old game, and I was thinking like, no way, it can't be. I pick on it, and then, bam, you get all this. You can actually play the original PS1 version on the remake. Like, how many remakes allow you to do this? Or because I felt like at the time, like, I don't think any other like remake lets you play the old school version. I mean, like, oh, like I wonder if at the time, because maybe at the time people, or like at least old school medieval fans are probably like all up in the air about it, but maybe medieval doesn't have as much attention as a PS1 classic as other PS1 classics go. Like when you think the PlayStation 1, you probably think let's see. Well, for me, off the top of my head, there's Crash Bandicoot, there's Spyro the Dragon, let's see what else. Probably some of the earlier Tekkens, Final Fantasy, especially 7. Uh, hmm. Like you could probably name like a maybe 5 games off the top of your head before you might even think of medieval. And it's a property that I was so happy that it got its remake. I actually don't know what's going on with or what's up with the developers for this. I think it was Ocean Emery, if I saw correctly. But yeah, I mean, like, aside from the fact that I guess I feel like the 2019 remake is more or less a one for one exact game. Like, the only difference could be, like, hang on, can I strafe? Oh no. Yeah, you can, but it's kind of weird. Okay, well, the controls are kind of different. Like, I was pressing, like, in the remake, I was pressing square to attack, and here it's X, and uh, it's probably a whole different ballpark. It's the same ballpark, but like, for example, if you pay attention to the gargoyle voices, they're the exact same. I think pretty much all the exact same voice actors from the original game. Uh, like, I don't think they probably rehire them back, assuming that some of the voice actors are alive. Like, the only voice actor that I think I know for sure is dead, like, is the voice actor for Zarok, who I'm just gonna like quickly look it up. Let's see, Zarek voice actor Paul Darrow. famous. He died back in 2019. So in June 2019. And the remake came back out in 2019. But when was the? It came out on my. The remake came out on my birthday, out the 2019. That's crazy. Oh man, it's kind of a shame that like that he probably died before it came out. Oh, sorry, it wasn't Ocean Emery. It's other Ocean Emeryville. Or developers. These guys are still going about, yeah. Yeah, yeah, they still are, which is good. I'm glad. Man, like they did such a fantastic job with the remake. I'm not sure how many people might feel like with that knowledge, like, oh, so they just lifted like the voices from the original game, which I guess personally, kind of the right call because I guess with remakes nowadays, like especially with Resident Evil 4, people were hoping that all of Leon's cheesy voice lines stay in the game. Some did, some didn't, and that's kind of how it goes. So I guess what I say for one remake, obviously the control layout is probably different, as I mentioned with square being the attack button in the remake, and I mentioning that it's X. That's the attack button in the original version. I mean, it plays and feels similar. Sure, you can do that weird strafe, and in the remake, you can do that older shoulder camera, which I didn't do often, or I did more often as an accident. But the music, I'm pretty sure the music it was redone to give it that more, I guess, a more powerful feeling. Like I think it's the exact same. Uh, what's the name of the position? Composer. Yeah, I think actually, yeah, I think so. Cause I got hit with the content claim on one of the episodes, and it's like, now hang on a second. Like, luckily it wasn't anything serious. It just happened to be like, hey, this sounds like the PS1 version. It's like, well, yeah, it's the remake. They redid it, but like, no harm, no foul. Honestly, oh man, it's I just love the fact that this remake exists. Anyone can play it as long as you have a PlayStation 4. Although I am playing it on my PlayStation 5, I have the game downloaded onto a memory drive that's connected to the PS5. Like I was just really happy that the game came out. Got the full 100%. I'm glad that you can actually play the original version. Sure, you do have to get those Lost Souls first, but it's totally worth it just for being able to like as like that extra reward, especially if you save it as the last thing to do when you play this game. Like so, and when I said I started it for Halloween, you don't have to wait for Halloween. You can play this at any point in time, and who knows, this can be a game that you go back to for Halloween. Just like get yourself in that spooky spirit on top of like the typical horror games and movies that come out every year. I don't mind that it's kind of one for one. Like if anything, The Lost Souls is kind of an original idea. It would have been interesting if they. I say interesting, but I'm guessing it was probably the safer route to keep the game. Like the exact same version. Obviously, the graphics got an update. I can't remember. I can't tell you off the top of my head if there were notorious bugs or glitches that the game had that luckily have been like excluded out of the remake. Well, the only exception, or I wouldn't say bug or glitch or anything like that. I just remember in the original game, the crossbow had like a super fast rate of fire, and then they just nerfed it for this. The club, or actually the hammer. I think the hammer also has like that delayed swing because I think the hammer in the original version has the exact same attack speed as the club, so you can just like spam the hell out of that. Like I'm sure someone could compile an entire list of like all the tweaks and changes that they made. Oh man, like if anything, the Dragon Boss, like that was probably my one real gripe with it because it's almost like a guessing game that you have to fight. Other than that, I think this remake is just it's absolutely fantastic. I'm happy it exists. I it came back out in 2019. It's 2023, and so I'm pretty sure in that time, like maybe they were hoping that a lot of interest would spark for a sequel, but either that's not going to happen or it's not the right time. I'm sure people would love, like at least the hardcore fans would love to get a remake of the second game, and I'd be all for it, honestly, as with the same developers behind it. If anything, you know what? It's probably not my place to say because like I said, I've never played the sequel, or I have, but I never beaten it, so I can't say for sure. Like, yeah, go ahead and do it because I have all these memories. I really don't. Not for the sequel, but for the original game, absolutely, I'm all for it. So bottom line, I'm pretty sure this game is not really. I doubt it's expensive. Maybe let me just do a quick search. Okay, so hopefully it doesn't have my login information. Like okay, well at the moment it's on sale now until next week. It's on sale for like $15, but I guess the base price is $30. I think that was the base price when it first released too. So honestly, if I guess if you have 30, 30 ducks, $30 to like spend, you can't go wrong. I don't think you're gonna go wrong with Medieval. I think you're gonna have a fun time. I think you can have a fun time with it because I mean it's a pretty simple single player adventure with you do have some branching pathways with the pumpkin path and then the save the mayor path with the village and then the maze and then the asylum, and then you have the rest of this more straightforward game with like puzzle ish implements in terms of like you need this item to activate this thing, which I don't think is going to be too hard to figure out on your own. And of course, like if you want to play with a guide, go ahead. Like I don't think anybody should be shamed for playing with a guide, especially if video games aren't really your forte, or like you want to play video games but you just don't have enough time. So it's like you gotta make sure that your time is well warranted and spent on top of your money as well. And I think Medieval can scratch that. Like if you're in that Halloween mood, or if you just want something to play that, honestly, I'm pretty sure anyone, like if you think of Medieval, just from the looks of it alone, you might think of like the Tim Burton movies as possibly the Nightmare Before Christmas, because I can't help but imagine anybody just like thinks of something else entirely aside from that. And well, there was also that Corpse Bride movie, if I remember correctly. So kind of a similar vibe. So yeah, if you're looking for a nice adventure game to play, just in between certain releases that you're more excited for, I don't think you can go wrong with Medieval. That being said, that's it. So at the moment that I probably upload this, I probably don't have a definite answer for what next game I'm going to play because I've already put out a poll on my Twitter and on the YouTube community tab on my channel. So I guess probably I probably might wait until that poll is over. I probably shouldn't have put it at a week's or the Twitter poll at like a week's time, just a couple of days. But in the meantime, the next series you could go into could either be the Dead Space remake or Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary on the Xbox. So In the meantime, wherever you guys are, have a good morning, good day, good night. Remember to take care of yourselves, stay hydrated, look out for friends and family, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.